Yeah, man. So, my Interceptor. After 6 years, I didn't got to ride it as much as what I want because after 2 years, my ex-wife died and I had to take my disabled son. But, yeah, this bike has never failed. It's had fuel contamination a couple times, but I put on Red Rooster headers, A&W exhaust, BMC free flow air cleaner, and then geared it down one tooth, which added 6.7%. So now I've got about 50 to 52 horsepower at the rear wheel, and I've got about 47 foot-pounds of torque, 46 probably. So, this bike, I've added higher risers, which I don't really like the way they look. I'm gonna get some better ones. Big wide bars, which I love those. Stainless steel front fender. 2.5 inch longer forks, tubes off of a Scram springs, internals and lowers off of the Interceptor. Okay, I use 705 Shinko tires, which are nice and wide and grippy, even though this particular one has always had a little bulge on one side right there. Not bulge up here, but on the edge. But what I've done here, this is the Velorex body, but this Sidecar, the car itself is a Dnieper, which made in Ukraine. Okay, I got my little doggy cage, and check this out. That thing lifts up, and I can actually lay down in here. I got to lay down my head this way, and I can actually sleep in there. And the reason I got to lay my head that way is because if you look down in there, there's like a hump where it was originally mounted. But I just run me 2 straps, flat steel straps to mount it on, and there you go. Now, one of the big improvements I just made was I moved the Sidecar body over, and I added like 2 inches, about 2.5, and one's a little bit more because the way it's shaped, because they're not exactly the same. Spacers in there. That lets the air flow through here, and it really, just got it. I had it handling really great till I tried to put a windshield on it. When I tried to make a windshield, it was oh no, and it was pulling. So I averted that by moving the car over, creating me an airspace right there, and yeah, I've got also the little fly screen windshield on there. I've got an absolutely junk ass. That rear rack is a piece of cheap ass thing. I've added, these pieces of metal and stuff like that. That's just for the disabled kid when he rides with me, right? So he cannot hurt himself or burn himself, so there you go. The other modifications I've made to the motorcycle, I put Super Meteor pegs on there, which I had to file down to get them to work, but all's well. I've put the touring seat instead of that flat seat. I think it ends up giving it, with a longer front end, see, it gives it more of the original Interceptor profile. So there you go. So, and everybody, this guy's taking pictures of the dog like everybody does. They drive alongside you. So he's got 35 to 40,000 miles in there, man. And we're gonna go for a big trip, and I can actually lay in there and camp. The reason I went ahead and put this other piece of aluminum back here like this is because now I can put a tarp over it all, and if we get caught in a really bad rainstorm, I can crawl up in there, have a tarp over it all, and it's fine. But what I'm gonna do is I'm searching for a tent that's got a 4-foot entrance, and yeah, so then I'll be able to, maybe a little bit more than 4 foot, but the entrance, so I'll be able to actually pull the bike inside of a tent. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. But there we go, old Buck and the Sidecar rig. Some people, it might kind of mess with their mind, the fact that it looks like it's leaning out a little bit, but that's the way it's supposed to. You read those tires, see that? More here than there, a little bit thicker. It's leaning out. Right? back's leaning out aplenty. So there you go. But Royal Enfield Interceptor, one of the best motorcycles ever for a sidecar. And if you look at the way that I did the subframe, it's all bolt together. All right. And then I also have a strap, a spring steel strap, run up here to the bolt together frame. It's all good, man. It's all good. Probably the best bike I ever owned, that and Royal Enfield Bullets. And I've had plenty of Sportsters, other Harleys, and they're nice, but they're not like this. Practicality, man. This is the deal with Royal Enfield. Practical. This motorcycle is practical. And if the motorcycle's practical, you can fix everything. It doesn't cost you as much to keep it, maintain it, buy it. Lasts just as long, easier to ride than the Harleys are. There's no doubt about that, man. I mean, the clutch is so easy. Everything, it's just practicality is better. Okay, you can sit there and brag about your Cadillac all day long, but a Cadillac was never the better car. There's all kinds of cars, much better cars than Cadillacs. Same thing with a big old Lincoln Continental. They're not the best cars. They just cost the most money. They're just the big bling, and that's it, man. But Royal Enfield motorcycles, people talk to you everywhere you go. There's plenty of bling. People realize, and they can just tell, and they get to looking at them. It's like, man, that thing looks like it's really built. Yeah, they're built to work on, built to maintain, the old ones and the new ones. It ain't none of this stuff where you can't work on it, where it take you 8 hours to change your freaking goddamn drive belt. All right, out of here.